Morning, everyone. Good morning. We'll go ahead and call the regular board meeting for Western Municipal Water District to order this morning. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We certainly appreciate it. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read in our COVID protocols, please?
Yes, thank you. Good morning. In an effort to protect public health and prevent the spread of COVID-19, and in accordance with the Governor's Executive Order N-29-20, the public may view this board meeting online or virtually. The public may also attend in person. However, all persons must wear a mask while indoors. This meeting is live streamed online at WMWD.com. As stated on the agenda, members of the public who wish to comment on any item within the jurisdiction of the district or any item on the agenda may make comments virtually or by submitting comments on the district's website. Comments received on the district's website before 4:30 p.m. August 3rd, 2021 will be made part of the board meeting record. For those participating in the Zoom virtual meeting who wish to provide public comments, please indicate such by using the raise hand feature and we will call on you individually. You can access the raise hand feature by opening the participant list and clicking the raise hand button at the bottom of the list. For those participating by telephone who wish to provide public comment, you may do so by pressing *6 to unmute yourself. Phone callers can also press *9 to activate the raise hand feature. If there is more than one caller, you will be identified and called on one at a time. Any public comment will be limited to 3 minutes in duration. However, the presiding officer reserves the right to reduce the amount of time you will be allowed to speak to ensure that all members of public have an opportunity to provide their comment. I will now take roll call for the meeting. Due to the complexity of conducting this meeting by Zoom and telephonically, I will not be taking roll call for staff members or the public at this time. Director Rizvi.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning. Director Gardner.
Present.
Thank you. Director Torres?
Hello.
Good morning. President Denstedt?
Good morning, I am present.
Good morning. President Denstedt, you do have a quorum this morning.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance this morning. It is a recorded pledge. We've been doing this since the start of COVID. It's worked out wonderfully. It's an opportunity for us to allow one of our staff members to be a part of our board meeting. If you could please join us.
I'm James Chatwin. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We certainly appreciate our staff being able to participate in this, and this is something that we hope to carry forward even after all of the COVID, hopefully very soon, just disappears. Okay. Moving on to our agenda this morning, folks. Now is the time for public comments. Public comments today are for any item which is not currently posted on our agenda under the jurisdictional matters for this board and this body to be able to enact upon. Madam Secretary, is there anyone who has turned in a comment card for public comment today?
President Denstedt, I do not have any comment cards. I have also not received any written public comments for today's meeting, and I see no hands raised on the Zoom.
Thank you very much. Looking in our audience, I don't see anybody jumping wildly to their feet, trying to grab our attention. So we will go ahead. Is there any caller on the Zoom? Do we have any phone callers on the Zoom today that have pushed *9 to raise their hand for public comment?
We have no members on the Zoom that are phone callers.
Thank you very much. Wanted to make sure we covered all of our bases this morning. Going ahead and moving on to our consent calendar. Any board member wishing to pull any items off the consent calendar? Any members of the public wishing to comment on any consent calendar item? Looking for a motion.
Madam President, I will move approval of the consent calendar.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, if you could please call for the vote.
Thank you. Director Rizvi?
Yes.
Director Gardner?
Yes.
Director Torres?
Yes.
President Denstedt?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carries 4-0.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 6, items to be added to our agenda today. Mr. Ferre or Mr. Miller?
Not today.
Nothing
Thank
to
you.
add today.
Thank you very much. Moving right along today, folks. We're all the way to our action agenda. We have one item to consider on our action agenda. Mr. Miller.
This item is consider recommending that the Board of Directors adopt Resolution 3184 establishing fees and conditions for the disposal of non-reclaimable wastewater through the Inland Empire brine line. This item went through our Finance Committee, and it's been put on our agenda, and this is a public hearing, so I will turn it over to the President.
Thank you very much. This is the time and place set for the public hearing regarding the Inland Empire brine line rates and pretreatment compliance fees for fiscal year 2021 and 2022.
Notice of the hearing for proposed rates has been properly given. I have proof of publication which shows that the notice was published in the Press Enterprise, a newspaper of general circulation in Riverside County, on July 22nd and July 29th, 2021. In addition, we have mailed letters to customers affected by the proposed fees.
The documents are ordered, received, and filed.
Madam President, the Board is being asked to adopt the proposed Inland Empire brine line rates and pretreatment compliance fees listed in Resolution 3184. The proposed rates are reflective of a cost of service study, ensuring that customers pay an equitable share of cost for services performed to operate and maintain the brine line and operate the pretreatment compliance program. I'd like to point out that with Santa Ana or SAPA's 6-month rate deferral from January of last year, there are no increases that are being presented to you today other than these quality charges that are being passed through SAPA. So this resolution has a number of rates in it, and the only rates that are going up are the quality charges from SAPA. Our rates and charges are not going up. And Western will be able to maintain essentially these rates throughout the year. So that's where we're at.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Milan. The hearing is now open. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak? Madam Secretary, do we have any comment cards for this item?
We do not, and I have not received any public comments during the comment period.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to speak on this item?
I see no hands raised and no phone callers.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead. Seeing no further comments, we'll declare that the public hearing is closed. This matter is now before the board for discussion. Pleasure of the board.
Madam President, I will move approval of the resolution.
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion or comments? I want to thank staff for doing an outstanding job on this to be able to hold the line. I think it's really important right now during COVID that we're trying to do the best that we can to keep down the rates for our business partners. We understand a lot of people have been out there struggling, so my compliments to the staff to be able to get all of that done. You, Mr. Lamont, and your team that have been able to do that, so thank you for that. I'll go ahead and call for the roll call vote, please, Madam Secretary.
Thank you. Director Rizvi?
Yes.
Director Gardner?
Yes.
Director Torres?
Yes.
President Dinstedt?
Yes.
The motion carries 4-0.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to reports. We'll move on to General Counsel, Mr. Ferre.
Thank you. Yes, I don't have any report today. As I mentioned in the last meeting, at the end of September, and as things progress, we will have updates on various issues regarding water shutoffs, Brown Act issues, but for today, I don't have any report, Madam President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ferre. Mr. Miller.
I'll take some of Mr. Ferre's time, if that's okay with him, since he didn't want to report anything today. I've got several. As required by our emergency ordinance, I have to give a COVID update. Our emergency declaration is still in effect. Unfortunately, we did have one employee who has contracted coronavirus, doing well. His family's doing well. He's doing well. It was not contracted within Western's walls. As far as our unpaid balances, our total is $729,000 as of 7/21. It's continuing to kind of hover at that same rate. We're not seeing a big change in number of customers or in the quantity or the amount of money owed to us. As far as CDC recommendations, we have made a change internally this week, and I did send an email to all staff and to the board members kind of highlighting what we're doing. The CDC has recommended that when people are in common areas that they wear masks, whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated. So we're trying to adhere to that. It's a recommendation, it's not a mandate. So you will see staff members here when they're in common areas walking around. They will likely be wearing their masks. When they're in their work areas, they will not be wearing their masks. So as our business continuity team meets on a regular basis, we're fully prepared for more changes this week that may happen. We're hearing lots of rumblings out of the state and Cal OSHA and the county, but we'll see where that goes. But that's where we stand right now. So I will send out another update to the board if anything changes. Regarding our board vacancy from our special meeting last week, we did fire off the letter to the county. They've received that. So they are aware that we've moved this on to the county for their selection. Tammy and I have been trying to figure out if they're going to go to the 17th or the 24th. We haven't heard yet. But we continue to monitor that. I've reported several times about chlorine shortages. Right now, we're in really good shape. So that's a good thing. But this is, we get, 2 or 3 deliveries per week of chlorine, and our vendor has been very inconsistent, either canceling deliveries or just not showing up. But right now, we've got the deliveries, so we're doing well right now. And we hope that chlorine shortage is waning. We hear that the manufacturing process is getting back up and running and getting back to more normal. So hopefully we're over that, but we'll see how it plays out. The final thing I wanted to touch on is our battery storage project. So we did have a question from a director that we heard that Syrah potentially was having some delays in their battery storage project. So we contacted our vendor. We're doing this at the Mockingbird lift station, and we're contracting directly with Tesla. They said they are having some minor supply chain problems, but they don't see that impacting the delivery date of the project. So that's good news. I think Syrah may be struggling with having a third-party developer, but I don't really know the details of their program. We touch base with ours, and they're hoping that they'll still be able to deliver on time. But there's lots of supply chain issues, just like we're seeing in chlorine and computer chips and all sorts of other things. And so we're kind of prepared for more bad news on that front, but it's going good right now. So with that, that concludes my GM updates. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll keep moving on down our agenda. Going on to director's reports. SAPA Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam President. SAMPA met yesterday, as did their PA 24 committee. The commission itself appointed you, Madam President, as the representative to the OWOW steering committee. Normally, that's something I would have taken as Western's representative to SAMPA, but its schedule conflicts with Chino Basin Water Master board meeting. And you were available and willing, so we drafted you.
Yeah, did you like that? Yeah, okay. I think that was voluntold, I think, but okay.
They also approved a resolution recognizing Hope Smythe for many years of service as executive officer of the Santa Ana Regional Water Quality Control Board. And it truly is many years. She was there down in the staff when I worked for Southern California Edison Company many years ago.
No, she definitely came up through the ranks.
Yes, she
for
did.
sure. For sure, she did.
Started as an intern.
And as a matter of fact, I remember being first introduced to her by our former general manager who was sitting in the audience, Mr. Rossi, and having a meeting with her. And that was my first introduction to her, and she's a fabulous person, so we were excited to honor her yesterday at SAPA.
Had an interesting discussion on a proposal for a grant application for support of small community water and wastewater in disadvantaged, or small systems in disadvantaged communities. The board was given an opportunity to talk about where everybody sits, and nobody knows for sure where they sit. It's a good thing to do from a societal and a regional perspective. The question is how you justify spending each entity's customers' money if it doesn't benefit their customers directly. So that discussion will continue. We did ask that the general manager ask the general managers of each of the 5 SAPA member entities to see if they can get together and reach a consensus. So Craig will be looking for that.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Just minding our own business over here.
So that's a pending issue. We have a couple of small water agencies within our service area that do serve disadvantaged communities. And so it could benefit us. They are wholesale customers of ours. So we'll see how that comes out. The Project 24 committee selected me as the vice chair. I didn't get asked about that either. But most important, they directed the staff to prepare a scope of work for the Inland Empire Brine Line master plan. Turns out there is not a master plan for the Brine Line, never has been, and it's past time there was. So we will get one up and running here. And that's it for SAPA.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. I know that round 2 call for projects on OWOW for funding is happening. Do we know the date that workshop is getting ready to take place? I know it's in August, but I can't remember the date.
I'm sorry, I don't remember it
Anybody?
either.
No, we can get back with you on that.
Yeah.
I don't recall the date.
Well, I wanted to make sure that all of our partners know so that they have an opportunity to send staff there to that workshop so that they could ask questions. I know a lot of people in this room are very interested in that funding opportunity, and you have some really smart folks that want to grab those pots of money for round 2. So I believe there's 26 or 27 million that's up for grabs.
It's in that range, yes.
Yeah, so, hey, every dollar counts for every single project that we work on. So hopefully we can pass that along or put it on our website to inform our partners or send that out to our partner agencies so that they can be in attendance for that round 2 opportunity.
Absolutely.
Good idea.
Happy
Great.
to do that. We'll bring that back to the board. Without knowing too much, I know our staffs are all working together and participating in that program, so they're probably all sitting out there going, hey, this is the date, but let me
Right.
get that back to our board so we can publish it.
Okay, yeah, well, if anybody knows what the date is and they can jump up and tell us.
We'll get that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gardner, appreciate that update. Metropolitan meets later this month, so I have not had an opportunity to go to that, so I will be able to report at the next meeting in regard to anything that's going on at Met. Chino Basin.
Okay, just for a change, there is disagreement amongst the parties at Chino Basin Water Master.
What a shocker.
They need to do a safe yield recalculation, and they are arguing over the various pools are arguing over what should be in the scope of the analysis. They made some progress. They did adopt an incomplete budget. Staff would like to see additional funding for kind of some background research that will support the study and justify things in it. The commission asked the parties to meet this month and see if they can't come to an agreement. I'm slightly optimistic that they may be able to do that. It's not a whole lot of money that is asked for but not yet approved, but that is pending, and if there's not an agreement, it will go back to the court and the judge will say what the budget will be. And that was the main thing that they did. So.
Thank you very much. Moving on to CDA. Do we have a report from the CDA rep?
The meeting's supposed to be tomorrow, but I don't see it on my calendar. I'm not sure if that's because it was moved.
Okay, thank you.
I'll confirm that for you, Director Torres, after the meeting.
Thank you.
RICRA.
We meet next week, so we
Okay.
have nothing to update.
All righty, thank you very much. WRCOG. So things have been a little active over at WRCOG. We were able to share, in particular, the OWOW funding opportunity for round 2 with all of our city partners. So that's always a nice thing to be able to give the cities an opportunity to partner with some of the water districts and some of the things that they're trying to do and clean up. And hopefully we'll get some interest in that. So we wanted to make sure to share all of those wonderful things with them. But one of the things that is troubling WRCOG right now the most is the fact that we had to have very lengthy closed session item, and while I will not divulge what happened in closed session, closed session revolved around a number of litigation items that were surrounding the HERO program and the fact that the program manager, Renovate America, has filed for bankruptcy back on the East Coast, where they believe, I guess, they're going to get the most favorable judgment out of this, and have dropped the ball on administering the HERO program and left a lot of people stranded with their projects and some issues that are revolving with that. So unfortunately, WRCOG's board is having to now deal with those litigation items that are popping up. We're hoping to satisfy those as quickly as we possibly can, because obviously it's not the participants' fault that Renovate America is the bad actor in this whole thing and has dropped the ball and has now tried to file for bankruptcy protection for their part in all of this. So we'll keep you posted on that as much as we possibly can, but it is certainly our wish to keep everybody whole and for them to experience the opportunity of savings in participating in that program, which has to do with water, energy, and a variety of different things for that program. So probably more to come in the months to come. So we'll keep you posted. Sarah, any updates?
Yes. So we approved the Murrieta Sewer asset transfer agreement, which gives, the assets that move from Western to Sora. We approved that. And they are being moved with the existing design, and Sora will take over, and they will budget into their CIP for the next moving forward. We approved a budget of $130 for the roof repairs for the facility, and then we discussed the construction completion event, which is planned on October 13th. It's going to be an in-person event. I did get a chance to tour the facility last Friday, and the work they've done is marvelous. I'm super excited, and I would love for all of us to be there. It's very exciting times, and they've done a great job for that. And then there was financial shows. Sora is tracking well on the revenue and experiencing budget savings. So we're good there.
And Director Rizvi, is that project still on time and on budget?
Absolutely, yes.
Not that I have any ownership in that,
No,
but
great job.
okay. No, I'm really excited to hear that.
Yes.
So I know it's been a long, long time coming. So I appreciate you're continuing the work there and
Absolutely.
making sure that that is completion. I'm looking forward to receiving my invitation to that event. I will be there with bells on. I'm really excited to see the plant and look forward to taking a tour myself and seeing
Absolutely.
everything.
They did a great job.
I'm looking at the general manager out there for Rancho California Water District,
they did a
and
great-
also another Syrah member there out, John Rossi, who's been a wonderful partner down there. So we appreciate that, and we really look forward to that JPA. So
Absolutely.
thanks for that. So thank you, Director Risby.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to director's comments. We'll go ahead and continue on with Director Risby. Any comments this morning?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Director Gardner.
I have none.
Okay. Director Torres, any comments this morning?
No comments.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and make just a couple of brief comments. I wanted to share with everybody that I attended last night National Night Out with my city that I live in, it's Marietta, to go out there and support our first responders. They have had a very tough year this year, and we wanted to make sure that we offered a bunch of support. There was a very good turnout last night. Several hundred people were there in attendance, and a lot of kids that were really excited to be out there. They had the canine dogs out there that were doing some demonstrations and doing some bites that the kids just were really excited to see. They had the air rescue helicopter come, and the kids got to jump off and on that thing, and that was just, it was wonderful to see the community out in full force last night. So thank you to everybody that took part in that. It was really exciting. I was glad I could be a part of that, and got to see some of our council members down there as well that took part right before they went into their council meeting last night. So I was really happy to see that. And we also have something coming up for the MSR down there. That meeting is going to be taking place at City Hall. Is that still the venue that we're looking at, Mr. Miller?
Correct.
Okay.
It's on the 26th of August in the
Okay.
evening.
So we'll look forward to being in attendance down there. So thank you very much. That will be all of my comments. Any requests for future agenda items?
I'm good.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll go ahead. Informational items are on our agenda to review at your leisure, folks. If there is anything that you have, I would suggest that you reach out to staff if you have any questions that they can help you with understanding any of those reports. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, August the 18th at 9:30. That is our regularly scheduled board meeting. The next time, we have no closed session on today's agenda. Have I missed any business before us at all, Mr. Miller?
You did not miss any business. We actually went very fast. So we have our event scheduled at 10:30. So
Okay.
talks amongst yourselves until 10:30, please.
Absolutely. So we look forward to doing that. We'll go ahead and call this meeting adjourned, folks, and we look forward to seeing all of you at 10:30 when we will be honoring our former director who has passed, Don Galliano. Thank you very much.